Jack Blair here. Great to have you joining me this morning. And today we're looking at the warmth at the center of things. And it's a beautiful part of this creation story. This is the part in Genesis 2 where the Garden of Eden finally shows up. We're all, I imagine most of us, even if we're not biblically well versed, that we still would know what that idea of Eden is, and that idea of the Garden of Eden, right? That was this original paradise, and that eventually we have to leave it. So I want to start out by saying this, like it's the Garden of Eden. When you look at the Bible, it's important to understand that all these parts of the story are parts of our lives. Like we all go through this journey. It's not that there's a Garden of Eden, we get kicked out, and that's something wrong. No, that's part of the story. That's the way it will happen. And it's really important to start with this idea of the Garden of Eden, this idea of this place, this sort of this metaphorical heart in ourselves. And it's interesting when you read the Bible, because the Bible continually returns to first, as we would say, like there's a loop in it. And the Bible starts with the story of the Garden of Eden, and then Revelation, the end of the Bible, ends with the story of a Garden of Eden of sorts as well, brand new garden. And what is that all about? Well, folks, there's from a Christian New Church perspective, there's two ways to approach God. One is through faith, through our head, and God kind of can enlighten us and enlighten those thoughts in our head. Beautiful way. And another way is through our hearts, where God really touches our hearts. And it's not like a layer cake, it's a marble cake. Like sometimes we're one, sometimes we're the other, and both kind of go together. But there's a beautiful part that this Garden of Eden, pictures, which is that deep love within all of our hearts. And that's a part that God touches. And I want to read you a little bit about that and chat about it a little bit. What happens in this place is the Lord enters into our understanding, reason, and knowledge by way of love and the convictions of love. And since these are free of conflict, they can see that it is so. A person can see that it's so. So it's this part where the love then goes into our intellect. And when that happens, folks, and we really in that place, we just kind of know stuff. And all of you know people who are like that. It's important to know, right, that there are these two paths, and that life has these different paths, and we use these different paths. And yet there's this first that is deep within us. I was thinking about it this morning, and last night, it was kind of fun. I'm here doing a little mini quarantine out in Lancaster. And so I was calling our kids last night, going through calling my wife and calling all our kids just to check in on them. And I was talking to our son, and our son is finishing up a college paper, and he asked me to take a look at it. And obviously, like that's such when our kids ask me to do stuff like that, right? It's just so nice, because yeah, it's just something I can do. There's many things I can't do, but that's one I can do, is I can correct a paper. And so he sent me his college paper, and I was taking a look at it. And obviously, like there's got to be this mix, right? Like clearly I have to come from a headspace. I taught AP American history for a long time. I'm used to, correcting sort of high level papers. So I'm going to bring that part of me to it. But most importantly, I'm also going to bring my heart. I'm going to bring my heart to it. I mean, we're blessed with great kids, as many of you watching this are, and just the tenderness of watching our children. I mean, adult children now, frankly, our adult children continue to grow, and watch them expand in how they understand the world. That's really heartwarming. And that's where love and wisdom come together. It's important to remember that when you feel that part, that we all have that inside. Everyone has it. You have it. They have it. Everyone has it. And that part, we're going to come to the part where we do leave the garden, because that's part of the story too. But can we just sit with it, right? Can we just sit with that warmth at the center of things? Because life so much gets oh boy, we feel like we're out of the garden most of the time. I think maybe we are. And within all that, folks, there's this constant coming back to it, even like last night, busy with a lot of things, it would be easy to miss the preciousness of a moment. Even in correcting a paper, at least for me, it would be very easy to miss the preciousness of that. And yet I have to sit with the love, the preciousness, the grace that's all right there. That's all absolutely right there. So, folks, that's what let's think about today. Let's just try to find the warmth at the center of things. I think it does. Yesterday we talked about like breathing, the breath of God. I think breathing is part of that. I think when we can take a breath, we can find that warmth at the center of things. And yeah, and just learn to pay attention to different things. Like, I mean, I think that's so much the spiritual life that needs said over and over again. Learn to pay attention to different things, and learn to pay attention today to just that warmth, which sounds weird, right? But know that that's where God may really be touching you the most closely. That's where Eden is, place that we all got. So that's my thought for today, folks. I hope that makes sense. And tomorrow we're going to look at sort of a mind blowing concept, which I find a lot of fun. And yeah, and so let's go ahead and do our little meditation here, etc. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do our little meditation, followed by prayer, followed by a blessing. Before we do this, however, I do want to give a quick public service announcement, which is that tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a group meeting on Heaven and Hell, which is a book about the afterlife, like what happens when we die. You are sort of about near-death experiences. If I was to put it in completely, common language, you are more than welcome to join that group tonight. If that interests you, shoot me an email at chuck.blair@newchurchlive.tv, and I will send you a little note. So, friends, with that, let's get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends, let's see who has joined us on some of our social media platforms here. All right, flip on down. I wish I was good at technology, Anyhow, and I do want to again warmly invite you folks to tonight, and then we have another one coming up on Thursday night. We're going to try just having an open group, and that will again be Thursday night, which you are more than welcome to join us there as well. Uh, All right, let's take a look. Linda, good morning. Good morning to you, my friend. Ryan, my buddy, great to see you joining us this morning, Ryan. Hope you're doing well, bud. Patricia, great to see you joining us this morning. Kim, morning to all with that sunshine. I like it. Good morning. At the airport on the Freedom Train, getting ready to go to Alabama on civil rights tour with the group. Brought my guitar and a pocket full of civil rights songs. And Ray, when I was flying down to South Carolina, I saw a book on taking that tour. It was really interesting. Linda writes, marble cake, like that. Is that when our hearts and minds come together in faith? Absolutely. And Linda, and I used to kind of think that like layers, like first we got to do this, then we got to do this, and one stage is higher than another. And it really isn't. I mean, they really bend back and forth. And because I think there's a trap believing it's all about our heads, right? But there's a trap too in believing it's all about our hearts. Hearts are beautiful things, and we also want to have wisdom. Like we want to have something to offer. I mean, it wouldn't help my son to look at his paper and just write on the bottom, "I love you," like that. Even though that's true, right? It helps him to actually have something else there as well. Marcus, good morning to you, my friend, and I hope you're doing well. Martha, my Michigan buddy, hope you're doing well out there. Donna writes, have a blessed day, everyone, and totally agree with all that. So wishing you folks all the best. God bless. And again, wherever you leave the comments, we go back through our social media and make sure we get all those answered. So feel free to comment. Again, most people watch archived, and feel free to leave an archived comment. We will try to get to it. So wish you folks all the best. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.